fullness of your grace, in the power of your name, you lift me up.
Good morning and welcome to the program this morning. It is a great day to be alive, even if a little bit of rain is falling. That's a good thing. I'm very sure that we are happy for that as well. Good morning and welcome to the program. Well, we have a lot to talk about, so as well I just introduced my guest, my friend, and let's go from there. So Gloria's in the house this morning, although it is the 5th Friday. But of course, Gloria mixed up that. Good morning.
I mix up. You put the blame on me.
Yeah. I'm like,
good morning, viewers
Yes.
and listeners.
we start to give trouble
And it's a
already.
pleasure to be with you again. I really enjoy these programs.
Wonderful. Well, I know for sure that a lot of people enjoy it as well. That's a good thing. I like your top.
But one must talk sense.
Well, of course. But it looked like if we're talking enough sense, because, I mean, they keep coming to listen. So we have to be saying something good. Anyhow, let me stop teasing you already. The morning too early for that. Actually, that is a Grenadian thing. You know, is that a Grenadian thing when we say the morning too early for that? So, like, you have certain things you could do in the morning. Like, you shouldn't cuss in the morning. Well, not that we encouraging cussing, not at all. I'm just saying there are certain things that when you grow up, once you just wake, you would say, look, it's too early for that. So is that a Grenadian thing?
I don't know. I really can't claim it.
I have a feeling because you hear it. And I mean, I grew up with it. And you would still, don't you, sometime this week, something my son tell me, my son, you know, and saying, Mommy, anyhow, it's too early for that. I said, like, sure.
One thing I know, you know that thing we say when we say in truth?
Yes, that's a Grenadian thing.
Well, it is,
I
but
feel-
it comes from the Creole.
In truth. But why do we say that? Because, yeah, it's almost like if you want people to believe you for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
Are you
in
sure?
truth.
In truth?
In truth.
It,
Not
it,
truth,
it
yeah.
comes from the French, actually.
Eh.
We had a French friend who heard me saying it.
Mhm.
I said, you say that too?
Oh, really?
And I said, yeah, is it French?
Ah.
And a lot of things that we say it is like a direct translation of the
Yes,
French.
yes.
Like it make hot.
Yeah, for sure. That one, yeah, it make hot. Yeah,
it make hot. Their construction is il-fait chaud.
Mm-hmm.
They don't use the verb to be hot.
Mm-hmm,
Use the verb être, to be. They use the verb faire, to make.
Right, to make, so that's why it make hot.
It make hot.
Yeah.
But which-
And really and truly, it actually make hot, you know.
It
It make hot. It's making hot. It's anyway. How do we get into these things so early in the program?
Well, it's a matter of communication. You know, communication.
True.
Our method, our cultural form of communication is if you don't understand it, you think we talk in another language.
Trust me, but it's sweet.
Like it's sweet, like
Oh, but you see, look at that. I was just saying our language sweet. That's what I meant. You see how we get in there? That's what I meant when I said it's sweet. I was referring to what you were saying, the fact that we have this collage coming together to make what we call our Creole. I mean, it's just beautiful. But yeah, we say that too. It's sweet. Yeah. Instead of it is sweet. And anyhow, I really believe, I can't say which one is better because it's not about
no,
better,
it's just
clearly
a matter
not.
of who gets
But-
the message over.
Yeah, exactly. Because we certainly get the message. When I say it's sweet, I remember in school, as a teacher, sometimes you ask a child, how old are you? And the child stand up looking at you still.
Yeah.
And I just say, how much years you have?
Oh, how they call you? How they call you? How they call you?
And there is no misinterpretation there.
all.
Oh, not at all. You know, so sometimes you use the standard English and it's like, what happened? What is happening here? And then you just use Creole and everybody gets it. At least everybody here.
Well,
Yeah, in our
Grenadians,
yeah, yeah.
like if you ask a little child where they live in, you say, where do you live?
They look at you. Some of
They
them.
do, you know. We're house. We're, you know, it tell you up the road or down the road. It's always the road. And the road has a very big significance in our language.
The road.
Yeah, you take it on the road.
Wait, hold on.
You make
Gloria.
you plate mass on the road.
1 minute, Gloria. Let us at least tell the people, although by now they must be realizing where we're going, but we did not even say what we are going to do today. But we went into it. Gloria does that to me. I give her everything this morning. She does that to me. Once she starts, I just get excited. Okay, so today we are already looking, and we'll continue to look at those sayings that are most of them, we're hoping to identify those that are very Grenadian. So, as I said, we already started it. So that is what we are looking at today. There's one main announcement we will do it toward the end because it actually is going to hold some significance to the programs that we do in September. So we'll talk about that for the last little bit of the program. But we are looking at, as I said, those things that we believe are very Grenadian. Right, going back.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that language and communication is very important to our people. Mm-hmm. You have to understand what you're talking about. Right. And if you don't, for example, if I say crapo smoke your pipe, mm-hmm. You know what I mean by that?
Well, I know the phrase. But if I say I fully know what I assume it means that you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Ah, right.
You're in trouble. Crapo smoke your pipe.
How that came about?
I have.
Crapo, how it end up for a crapo to end up reaching by a pipe?
Well, this is the problem. Mm-hmm. That you put things together, which you know what they mean.
Yes.
But you can't, when you take them apart,
yes.
You can't break it down to see how that come together.
Like a cow belly crossway.
Cow belly
How
crossway.
you manage to reach in a cow belly? Well, I mean, and that alone, of course, suggests that you're in trouble to end. That one is...
That's you in trouble.
But is a different type of trouble to crapo smoking your pipe?
Well, I think it's a little different.
Okay.
I can't really, I know I could say it, I know when to say it. And that's the thing about us. We know when to say it. But we really don't know what it really, when you break it down. Mm-hmm. Because
what it really...
Crapo is a Creole word for frog.
Right. Wait, so the crapo is not the toad?
Yes.
The crapo?
The frog.
Wait. Frog is the one that stays in the water. Well, mostly. Well, actually, but no, they're all amphibious. So, but you see the land one? Hold on. A crapo is not the ugly one, the uglier one on the land.
I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is they're all ugly, and I don't want them near me.
Okay, we are not bashing.
And there's also a saying, what is fun for children is dead for crapo. Uh-huh. Because children like to stone crapo to death. I don't know why.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's true. Yeah, that one is literal.
Yeah.
For something about it, apparently. I don't know. But yeah, they would stone crapo. But again, we saying crapo and not frog.
We're not saying frog. We're saying crapo.
Toad. So that's what I'm saying.
We're not saying toad either.
But the crapo is the toad. Because toad is the ones that are more, that we find more on land. That brown, you know what I mean? The frog we tend to find more, the little, they are different, that's the point. But, because on an ingredient too, they pour salt. What is that for?
I don't know. Once they pour salt on them, they go away.
I thought they die.
Well, they die. They go away. They don't like salt.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so back to crapo smoking pipe.
And you're in cow belly crossways.
Yeah.
I don't see the relationship at all. How you get there?
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose maybe that is what it is. Because maybe that is what it is. How did you get into that situation?
The thing about it is that we know when to use them, those phrases.
Yes, and mawet now.
I don't know what mawet mean. I know it.
We use it.
Yes.
Mawet is similar to kukute.
Really?
Ish. Well, no. I mean, no. Kukute has a whole.
But I could break down
lifestyle.
kukute.
Okay, break it down. And then we go
Because
back to Mawet.
terre is earth in French. T-R-R-E.
Oh.
Is
Kukute
earth.
is French?
Of course. Cuckoo is anything that you stir up and you, like we make a cuckoo.
Yes.
With corn.
Yes.
So you stir that up, you stir mud up. It's a cuckoo there.
Store up of earth.
Yes. Yeah, you're stirring up earth.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I just thought kukute is that you, well, all the things that we did in kukute, because kukute has a whole life, you know.
I know that.
So,
But you know the thing about
but then
it,
so why some people call it nanate?
I don't know. Because Nana is supposed to be
Yeah, okay.
a kind of stir up.
All right, 1 minute. Let's just take a quick break. We are going to be right back. And then hopefully maybe somebody from the audience might even be able to give us some of these answers. We are exploring it this morning. Let's take a break.
Diocesan t-shirts are available for purchase. Early bird prices. Regular adult t-shirt for $35. Children's t-shirt for $25. Or upgrade to a polo t-shirt for only $45. Call 473-459-4612 to place your order now. Let's live church, build community, and serve country. We are GrandCath and proud.
Well, I don't know if anybody sent in some of the information, but you can help us explore today, right? So we're still on kukute and nanate. The difference, well, if there is a difference.
I don't know the difference. In some parts of Grenada,
Yes.
they use different words to mean different things.
That too. Yeah, true. But it's stupidness, maybe you're making
Not
stupidness.
really. Well, yeah.
Because even nanate, you're just making stupidness, not real.
But is that Mawet too?
Well, I'm not sure because
And how
Mawet is
does
how we
Mawet-
use it. How do we use it? So, well, actually, yes, you're right. Because how I've heard Mawet being used is that based on what you see someone doing, if you find a person going through a whole lot of unnecessary, you know, maybe problems, or they put themselves in a situation where it's unnecessary. So you're kind of tying up yourself now. You say, what Mawet is this? Almost to say, what stupidness? But we could be kind of wrong. But we really need to explore, because in the first cases, some of them we definitely know, like kukute, because what do we do inside a kukute? I know kukute, you had to have, well, everything in kukute was fake. Well,
Yeah.
except the mud. Because the saltfish was distinct from the...
blogger.
You really?
Yeah.
No, we used to use the thing from the coconut tree. That fiber-looking thing.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there's a thing on the palm,
I know,
on the
I
coconut
know
tree.
the
When you
sky.
peel it off, it
Yes.
literally look like the back of saltfish.
But the
And we
blogger,
fold it up.
the blogger
Eh.
stalk, you know how it comes in
Yes,
layers?
how it comes- yes.
It also...
No, if we played with blogger, we would have get into a lot of trouble because the blogger have more stain. So how you explaining why all your clothes stain up?
Well...
So you in
could
trouble
not-
for that. So I know for sure we used to use, as I said, that thing from the coconut tree.
Yeah.
And then we really thought it was a wonderful thing when you get quote unquote yeast from the wood, from the house. I didn't know it's because your house falling apart.
Termites.
Termite eating your place. But for us, because you have this little thing
Yeah.
that looks like yeast, but all the time is because the person house, this is it with your house. It's going downhill from there. But we used to collect that because you have to sell yeast. So it was that one, and then the breadfruit. That thing from the breadfruit, it look, I don't know the name of it now.
The thing inside?
No, it comes out before breadfruit
flower.
start.
Is it
Is it
a
flower?
fruit? Yeah,
No, but it's a long.
Yes, a
navel.
long thing, it's a flower.
Yeah, but it's forming.
Yeah.
Okay, but that long thing, it'll almost look like a hot dog on a stick.
So that was
That was bread.
that was bread.
Yeah. That was.
So really and truly, you were playing shop
You're right. We are playing shop.
and plate.
But then the
plate money
cooking.
was broken crockery.
Huh?
You didn't use plate money.
No, I don't know what that is.
You know crockery, plates and saucers and things that you throw out.
Yes, yes.
You cut them up and you use them as money. What you used as money?
What we use as money, leaf. Leaf as well as mark it out. You used to make money. You used to sit down and make money. Yeah, you're making out $1 and $5 and things. So we used to make money. So maybe that
Well, you know,
evolved.
there was a time when we didn't know anything about dollars.
Correct. So, because of course we used to, I mean, you had battering, you had all of these systems. But wait, let's not go into money yet, Gloria. I find you looking excited to go into Hold on. Let's just finish Kukute. Because inside of Kukute, you had to also make things out, more than water and cook.
Yes, the mud and water,
You had to cook.
the
You
mud
store it up.
cakes, the mud cakes.
And bake it.
And you bake it, you put it in the so-called oven, whatever you had as an oven.
Yes.
Children's imaginations
I find
are
it was,
fantastic.
of course, and it was really at work when we didn't have any tablet and phone and whatnot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting.
Because the things that we came up with in order to entertain ourselves, it was much more creative than what is there now.
It's much more creative, much more affordable.
That too.
And, you know, to me, and you're playing, and it's constructive play. Like some people don't believe that play is constructive.
No. A play is not only constructive, it's very necessary, especially for children.
And it's part of our education that is necessary, as you say.
Yeah, definitely. But how do we, okay,
So that's how we could get to the ring games.
right.
Because a lot of our values come from those ring games. You know?
Really?
I would think so. If you sing the farmer in his dell,
The farmer in his
the
what?
farmer in his
Not a den?
Adele.
Adele?
Yes. Farmer in the dell. And
Farmer in Adele?
I heard the dairy, the farmer.
Hold on.
in the
You know, I think it's a Grenadian thing too, where we just say words that we think song like
Right.
what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah,
I
but
thought for all these years, I thought the farmer was in a den.
not a den. The den is for lions.
Right, but then so what is Adele?
A dell is like a farm, a little farm, I suppose.
Oh, so the farmer in his dell, and then what happens? Hi-ho? Wait.
Hi-ho, the dairy.
What is a dairy-o?
That
has to be an English thing.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
English. That's the English in us. Of course, we always celebrate the French, but we don't celebrate the English. The only way we celebrate the English is playing cricket. Cricket is a very English game.
Yeah, but a lot of things we obviously got it from the English. Well, I mean, we here speaking English.
Yes. But the question is whether we're speaking English or we're speaking Grenadian. And then when we
We're
go to
speaking
school,
Grenadian Creole.
we
period.
should learn two languages, English and Creole.
Well, actually, we learn, I think, because what is taught in school is English.
Yes.
But what we speak to communicate is Creole, Grenadian Creole.
Precisely.
And I think every Grenadian speaks at least two languages, Grenadian Creole well, I say at least because they could speak others.
Not every Grenadian.
Don't speak Grenadian Creole like at all.
There's some people who will pride themselves not to understand Creole.
They're missing out on a lot.
They don't know how much they're missing out on. Especially when you go to the market.
Culture.
When you go to the market, you got to speak Creole to get the price, the good price.
Yeah, well, of course. Because if it is that you want to pay the standard Englishman price, then go right ahead and not price
Well, not
yourself on
only that,
ingredient.
like I spent some time in Jamaica going to school, and I had a friend whose brother was married to a lady who grew up in England. So she spoke English, like the English. She goes to the market and she says, how much is the gongo peas? They call pigeon peas gongo. And she gets some high prices. And my friend said, Alma, ask me, how much you are sell your gongo? How much you are sell your gongo? That sounds like something out, another language. You get a nice, good, low price. So you got to get with it.
Yeah. You got...
And you go and you say, how much for that? How much for
Exactly,
that?
how much for that? But how much for that? That is a Grenadian thing.
Yes.
Definitely. How much for that? Where did we get that from? Again,
the mixture. The mixture. Because a friend of mine, again, who studied languages, she was interested in the African languages. She says our inclination to repeat ourselves
yes, definitely
comes from the Africans.
Yeah.
The Africans, they would say...
When they want emphasis.
Adede. And we say adede.
Yeah, we say that, but...
And where we get it there from, that is French. Because you say, sacafe. And the answer is muela. Muela is I am there. What are you making? Sacafe. What are you making? What are you doing? Muela. I am there. Then the African will say, adede.
So hold on. So the DEY, our day, because that is what we... I know it's there, but... how do we explain, because we use that day to mean I'm there, as in I'm here, but we also use it like if we're saying I just there.
Well, you're just there. You're just there. You're there. There is a very interesting word.
Apparently.
Because like you might hear somebody say, I don't they home now.
Right, true.
I'm not there home now. But we understand what they mean.
Of course.
I don't they home now.
Yeah, I don't they home. Or I don't they.
I don't they.
Wow. Yeah.
So then you have the African ancestors. They added the emphasis. I did they.
So I'm here.
Yes.
I'm there. So I'm right here.
I'm right here.
Okay.
And then of course.
So I didn't they. I didn't they. Okay, I didn't they. So if somebody comes and says, well, they mightn't ask, where were you? Where was? And then they say, I didn't they.
Yes. Well, again, you're not there.
So right, because of course didn't know is a short for didn't.
Yes.
Or not. Okay. Woohoo.
I wasn't there.
Exactly.
It's a negative.
I didn't they.
Yes. But you say I didn't there.
But some people don't even say didn't they, no. I didn't. D-I-N.
Yes.
I didn't they.
Yes, they do that.
I didn't. What is a whoa? Just going through it could almost give you a little headache, Just.
And then of course, the whole business of telling you reverse back.
That's a Grenadian thing.
Yeah, but we got it from the African ancestors. Again, that is the double. You're saying it twice. If you're reversing, you're going back.
Already, exactly. So we're being redundant, but that is redundancy in standard English. For us.
But it's
for you to really know that you're going back, you have to reverse back.
You reverse back. And then they talk about you fall down. Have you ever fallen up?
Well, of course, we never even thought of it because it's true. Because once you fall, it's down, you're going.
That's right. We fall down.
But it sounds sweeter by saying you're falling down.
And then there's two things, rain falling and rain coming.
Hold on. Now that you're calling them out, yeah, rain falling.
And rain coming. Is it l'applica vini?
Hold on, that was French? That was French or that was patois?
That's Creole. L'applica vini. And then that ka is always present before the verb. Moka ali. I am going.
Right.
Mwe ka ali.
Mweka, me, yeah, I.
But the ka has to be there before the verb. I do not know the significance of the ka. Perhaps Dr. Margaret Jones-Joseph, who has done a lot of research into the Creole, might have been able to explain that. But she has, God bless her and rest her soul, she passed.
I hope she's written books on
Oh,
it.
yes, she has.
Okay, wonderful.
She has books. She has written books.
All right.
And there is a Creole society.
Yes, I know for that.
Into that sort of thing. So
it rain coming and rain falling. I want that one because I usually say we say both.
we say
But
both.
is there a separate time? Because we would say rain falling.
Rain falling and rain coming.
Rain coming is when it can reach yet.
In reach yet. It's set up to
Oh,
come.
you say rain will come.
A rain gonna come. But rain, the verb come is used for the action about to begin,
Right.
but not doing.
Oh boy.
So you say rain coming.
It's mean that it's.
It's setting up to come.
Oh boy. Okay. Gloria, I'm getting a headache, yeah?
Man, I tell you, all you have to
but
do
it's
is just
amazing.
talk.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
talk.
But yeah, because just trying to dissect it is a different story altogether. Because we say it without dissecting it.
No.
Because if rain coming, in truth, it can reach it.
It
But then when
reach
it's
it.
falling,
When it falling, it actually
it's
reach.
here.
So you have click
And then, but then we still have rain go come.
rain gonna come. Or they say it's set up.
Yes.
What do I mean by set up?
But I know, right? But in truth, it's set
Clouds
up.
are
It look
gathering,
like, yes.
and outside is looking dark and grey, and
So it's set up to come.
It's set
But
up.
yeah, but that is it right there. But yeah, think about it. It's set up. It's like it's making an appointment. So you set a date
Yes.
or you set a time. So they actually make the things make a lot of sense, you know. It's just so practical that I think maybe we're even overthinking it now. But yeah, it's set up. So it's set to come.
to come. It's making up. We always say it's making up too.
Yeah, it's making up to come.
That making that fair verb, you know, saka fair. What are you doing? What are you making?
I'm about to make rain. So the
Right.
cloud about to make rain. Well, true. Wow,
making
okay.
up.
It's making up to come. Jesus.
I love it.
Yes, I do too. But dissecting it is interesting.
When you break it down. When you break it down. So our Creole is quite interesting, and to me it should be taught, so that children would understand. Now in the playing field, they speak Creole.
Oh yes, most definitely.
They don't talk English. Pass the ball.
Pass the ball is.
Pass the ball. Pass the ball. You're saying what? Send the ball to me.
No, I know, but yes, but well, okay. Well, I wouldn't know if I thought
Well,
of it for a while, and in my head.
Send the ball.
Oh yes, it's true. Send the ball.
Pass the
But
ball.
pass the ball.
Yeah.
But I think we have mixed the thing up so much that there are times when we're not even separating.
No,
We've mixed it all.
It is communicating. When we communicate, we understand each other perfectly.
Yes, but then, so for example, like that example you just used with pass the ball. In netball, however, you actually have to make a pass.
Yes.
So then, if someone is looking at it, you might be thinking that pass the ball is a standard English phrase because, of course, you have a similar phrase there inside of a particular game.
Yes, but one is a verb and the other one is a noun.
True. Aye, aye, aye.
A pass
Yes, I made a pass. Yeah,
It's
that's
no.
different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Total. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. That is amazing.
It's lovely.
Yes, it is.
And when people come to the show, the visitors, and this is something that we have to remember. They are speaking different to us.
Oh yes.
Not English necessarily. Some of them speak other languages.
Yes.
But if they speak in English, even then, it sounds different.
True. But okay, how do we break down? I didn't go there. So you come back to the same there.
There.
I didn't go. I remember when I was a teacher of grade 8. I don't even know if they have grade 8 anymore. Maybe not. But what would have been school leaving class? We used to have a part in language arts where we will translate the Creole too, and they had to do that as an exercise, just like how you would be teaching different aspects of grammar and so forth. You had to do that to translate, because of course the students were using it obviously to communicate orally, but for them now to function and write it down, they were obviously writing down.
That's
well,
why,
they're not even writing down the Creole, because then there's a spelling for Creole.
Classes in English are so low. They're just bordering on average.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you see, even if you have to, because we can speak the Creole very well, but even if you were to write the Creole,
there's no
standard spelling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no standard spelling for it. I think that is the biggest issue. But Jamaica has gone they have gone leaps and bounds and years. Exactly. And they have preserved their language.
Yes.
They have wow. They even have a Bible in it.
Well, they don't call it patois, and we should not call it patois.
But it's not patois.
Well, because patois is a broken language.
No, we're not speaking broken.
It's not a broken language. It's a language.
Of course.
So, we call it Creole.
It is. And a beautiful one too. But I believe, because even those of us as teachers who would say, for example, to a child, speak standard English. But you yourself, just after you tell the child that, you go right back to speaking Creole. Because it is, of course, it is your first language. So,
it's getting cold.
We will, during the break, we are going to heise the AC. But listen, just before we take a quick break, for some of the persons who have Creole Bibles, because I know that there are Creole Bibles. One is coming. I know that people have Creole Bibles. Let's take a quick break, and we are going to be right back.
Diocesan t-shirts are available for purchase. Early bird prices. Regular adult t-shirt for $35. Children's t-shirt for $25. Or upgrade to a polo t-shirt for only $45. Call 473-459-4612 to place your order now. Let's live church, build community, and serve country. We are GrandCath and proud.
Well, we are back. Our sneezing episode is over.
I think the AC went down.
It did well for you. One of these days, I know you're not a doctor or in the medical field, but we'll talk about all the other reasons why you sneezing, but sooner or later, one of those episodes might come on me, which is sweating. But anyhow, we'll talk about that another time. So... Right. So I was finished getting a lesson on the Creole, but I was just saying before the break that, like in Jamaica, I know that they went as far as to have the Creole Bible.
Yes,
Right?
yes, they do.
There was one little issue though. When it came to the part, I mean, I don't want to make it sound humorous, but when it came to the part where they had to translate, where the Bible records how the Holy Spirit overshadowed Mary for her to be filled, to have Jesus. That was an issue there, because for Jamaicans, they will say the person breed the person. But the Holy Spirit clearly didn't breed Mary. So because there was obviously no intercourse. So there was an issue. I really have to get the Bible to see what exactly ended up being the translation. Maybe they would have just simply left overshadowed, because you cannot go so changing up that you totally remove the original meaning from the text. But that was an issue there, because just like with every language, one word in one language may not necessarily be able to be translated exactly with maybe even one word. You might need a whole host of other words there to be able to bring about the same meaning. So we have that as well. Okay, more Grenadian things that is more, as I say, mostly Grenadian.
Let's go back to the ring games. And as I told you, they not only were for the entertainment of the children, but it also helped the value system. For instance, the one about the farmer in the dell.
Right. Oh yes, we were
Although
in the
we
farmer.
don't know what a dell is, but it's about a family, and it talks about the farmer takes a wife, and the wife takes a child.
True. I never looked at it that way. Yeah.
And this is not my thing. There is a lady from Trinidad who explains the whole thing about the wife taking the child, and the child takes a nurse, the person who takes care of her. And different people, and then they get right down to the cat, and the cat I
think the cat ended up with the rat.
Somebody had the cheese, and the cheese, and
because
something stands still. What's
the
that?
cheese that had to end up for himself,
He didn't
Somebody
stand
ended, for the cheese, because the rat had to eat the cat. I think ended up with the rat.
The cat had to eat the rat, and the rat had to
eat the cheese. But then when everybody has gone, the cheese stands still. Don't know how we got back to there, but yeah.
But even then, we have to be careful how we teach children things like that, because. All right, there's another one that we did, green guavas, you know that one, among the bush, and a bow shall be and a kiss shall be.
What is that?
Courting. It's a courting song.
So most of those games and rhymes were about something.
Yes.
Well, okay.
I remember the one.
Hold on. So the green guavas in the bush.
Yes.
So what about this guava?
They just.
But maybe the green guava is the fact that it is a virgin girl. Most likely.
Possibly. But there was always a bow and a kiss after the bow. In other words, there was another question,
But first time I heard that game.
Do you know that green guava?
No.
Game.
Really? We know the one, but we can't show it here. But you had to go down to Loti.
Oh, yes, that was a popular one.
Oh, yes, of course. Anything that had waste in it
that
was very popular among children. So you had to, but how it started again? Oh, my goodness. I can't remember how it started. I can't remember how it started. But you had to go down to Loti, and then there was another one.
That one started with the coolie man house on fire.
What?
The coolie man gone away.
Really?
And send me something to out the fire down there.
Really?
Yes.
Hold on, which coolie? Hold on. So the coolie, of course, is a mixed.
Yes.
The coolie man, I've never.
The coolie man house.
The coolie man house on fire. I think that is what it's
on.
on.
The coolie man gone away.
God, right.
So they send something.
Something about water to out the fire down there. And you go down to Loti, out
the fire down there. And you come up to Hyson.
Who's Hyson?
I don't know, another place.
Thought Loti was a place, most likely.
But they stopped singing that and they stopped playing that.
No, but those games,
because,
and I mean, there was a lot of exercise going on there, man.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I didn't realize remember about the Cooleyman house.
It was the Cooleyman house on fire.
That on fire.
But the Cooleyman had gone away.
Yeah, of course, because he had, right, so somebody now have to help him out.
Oh, the fire down there.
Yeah, you see, yeah, we bring back the language again.
That is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you had the one about the brown girl in the ring.
Right, what was that?
Obviously, that's a colonial one, where they were telling us about brown children, mixed children.
Oh, really?
I suppose.
There's a brown girl in the ring.
La.
Yeah. But what the other part have to do with colonialism? The
Well,
brown girl, well, maybe not.
Brown,
in the ring.
Brown in the colony, I suppose.
Right.
Brown people started to come up with a mixture of the African and the white.
Ah, right.
But again, the children weren't being given a history lesson or anything to do with that kind of mixing. But we assume that there would be brown people.
But of course, because of the mix.
So, the brown girl in the ring.
But I've heard that most of the rhymes most of them have a double meaning. Even like Peter, that was a pumpkin eater, and he had a wife, and he couldn't keep her. It is said that, so most of those rhymes and games and whatnot was speaking about something more than what was just being said or children just having fun. But those that we are just mentioning, are they Grenadian?
No, I don't think so.
Or so which games that we had were really purely Grenadian? For example, marbles. I know marbles is not a Grenadian thing per se. We do it in Grenada, but it did not originate from Grenada.
No.
I know that for sure. But which ones you think would have may have originated right here? Do we have games that would have originated here?
I don't know. Quite frankly, I grew up doing them.
Because we just have them.
Singings, we call them ring games, and you go around in a ring, and it was always about bows and kisses and gifts, I just say the beginning of courting, getting you aware that boys are different. Because the boys had to do certain things and the girls had to do
yes, because right
things.
there in the game, because the actions are being played out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that not like when somebody says, what is the difference between a boy baby and a girl baby? And the answer is, a boy is blue and a girl is pink.
Seriously? that is a response that somebody gave?
No.
Oh.
I mean, that is...
Oh, yeah.
Because we always... learned that you buy pink for girls and blue for boys.
And of course now we know that's a whole story all by itself now.
Well, no, you dress them in anything.
Exactly. Okay. Now, seeing that we have, and I really believe that a lot of people, that a lot of us, if it is that we're talking heritage and we're talking culture, and we would hear people saying things like, oh, let us make sure that we preserve our heritage. But I believe that the question that I just asked a while ago, which is what exactly would have been, purely Grenadian? Or maybe there are very few things that's purely...
That Poundstone. When
you have to do that, and then you hope
pass it wrong.
You hope your hand get out of the way.
Yes, and you hope your hand get out.
Yeah.
Well, the song they sang with that with Willie Willie Nana, you know that one? And I don't know what language that is. Willie Willie Nana, Willie Willie Nana. Willy Willy a butcher. Monkey Lassie Pendeng.
What? That's a language? Maybe something from Africa?
I don't know, but this was really, really
So
nice.
that is what had to be sung while the stone is going around?
And you're going around. You're ponging and you're going around. I don't know what you learn from that, but they don't play it anymore. I don't think children.
Well, I don't think that people knew it because some of the games, you have to know it to pass it on. For example, how many persons play Chinese skip? But Chinese skip is a really complicated thing in a way if it is that you're not agile. If you are not, if you could barely jump, then how are you passing on this game? So I believe, and I mean, even inside of our 50th anniversary and all of that, you hear people saying things like, we need to, preserve our culture. We need to tell the children, tell young people, But even those of us who are older, let's be real. Chinese skip, you can go or should go as far as up to the neck. How many people could high jump like that? Because the taller, if you're short like me, you might get away with it because at least when you reach by the waist, if you're tall, you might fight up. But when you reach, because I think they used to go up here too.
I don't know. I never played that.
You never played Chinese skip?
No.
Really?
No.
No. Chinese skip is a beautiful thing, but as I said, it have a little bit of complication. So all your stockings, your regular stockings, when they get a run in them, you would strip the stockings. And of course, you had to have, just like regular skip, you had to have 2 persons on either end. So if you are there, I am over here, and then there's somebody to play the game. So the string will be a very long string, but the string had to it's like already and truly like a circle, almost. Well, it could make a circle, but the point is the string had no beginning and no end. That's the point. But so the string will go over me, down at the ankles, and it goes over you. Right? So whereas with skip, you use your hand, this game is played with your feet. And the person who is actually playing, the person's turn, that person had to jump onto with both feet, and it had to land on the strings on either side because we were holding it. And then they have to twist the cord, the string, into a diamond. Yes, with your feet. It's amazing. And then jump out of that thing. So when you take your feet and you turn it into a diamond, you are in the diamond. You see, just like how you remember they used to do the diamond thing with your hand? Right. So imagine you used to start off with this long string.
Yes.
So imagine you playing diamonds or doing that game with your hand, but you're doing it with your feet. It was amazing. So if the person got through with the ankle, so they jump out, so now they're out of the thing. And now you will bring it up to your knee. And now they have to run and jump and hold on that thing at the knee. But the cord is not leaving the knee, Amazing. Because every time they jump now, you have to, the people who are holding the cord will go back a little bit. So you keep the line taut.
What they said while they were doing
I can't remember if there was anything being said. You're hoping not to fall. I think that was what was being said. And then you do the same thing, and now you get out. But then by the time you reach your waist, well, woohoo, because now you have to run and jump and keep the 2 feet on this thing at the waist. And then, as I said, you go all the way up, and I think neck was highest. Well, you don't know, most people would not reach neck. You had to be really athletic for you to, and as I said, very agile for you to even reach up. Well, half of the time you're even reaching the waist, you out. So whoever it is that went the highest would obviously win. You never played Chinese skip?
I never played Chinese skip.
And you never, but you heard of it?
The skipping I played was
just regular skipping. Hey, you missed out on a lot. It was a wonderful thing. But as I said, imagine now if someone, with all due respect to persons who have, weight or whatever, but if you have to, as I said, you have to be agile to be able to play the game. So we can talk culture and we can talk heritage and all of that, but first of all, we have to know it. This generation has to know it to pass it on to the next generation. And I think that's the challenge.
And that's another thing about generations. For example, and I must say, this carnival that we are playing now is not the carnival I knew.
Right.
This is a generational thing. the now generation wants to play and make sure everything is bare, naked. And we never played naked mass before.
But apparently, so maybe that is what it is. Maybe you have, because I mean, I'm not into carnival at all, to be honest. But I noticed when I was passing along on Lagoon Road that there was a sign, and it was, encouraging people to play sailor mass. I don't know much about the sailor mass, but for sure, the people well dressed. Because you have on your sailor collar, you call it. There's a whole sailor outfit.
That is an attempt being made by Chrissy Lashington to bring back a type of mass.
Right. So sailor mass used to be played in the past.
Yes.
Okay.
Sailor mass used to be played, and they call it fancy. Sometimes they fancy sailors, so they have the big bell-bottom pants and stripes on them, and they pretty. Yeah, and that came from the war.
From the war, World War.
The Second World War. Yeah, there was a base in Trinidad, and after the war, quite a lot of battleships used to come to our ports for the men to have a day off or 2 days off.
Okay.
And they would walk around the town, and you see all of them in their sailor clothes. And they took that and they made a mass out of it.
So most of the mass, well, of course, obviously would have had some kind of significance in the past.
Yes.
So, well, clearly going almost naked like people are doing now, I don't know we don't have a culture, we don't have a background for that, a history for that.
Well, I wouldn't say that we don't have a background for it, but I don't, you see, I am biased. I believe that Carnival is about masquerade, about people disguising, and that has to do with either some historical thing or some cultural thing. Like, for instance, the Wild Indians.
Right.
The question is whether you call them Wild Indians or War Indians. But I know them as Wild Indians.
Yes.
And they don't wear much clothes because they didn't have much clothes to wear.
Right, but that was directly because of these people's culture. That's was right. How they
and that's
were
a
dressed.
Historical thing.
Exactly.
They wore feathers and beads.
So who knows? Maybe that is what people maybe that's what they're trying to do. Just pull a few feathers, because it's floss and feathers right now. I mean, I don't go to Carnival, but you can't help but see it because it's right there in front of you. And it's floss and feathers. It's just a little string holding the two feathers together, hopefully to cover. If you're very slim, you might succeed at covering something. But if you're well endowed,
they wouldn't bow. They wouldn't burst.
Well, if it's floss, well, maybe they're making it out of real floss, because floss is very strong, eh?
Yeah.
Floss is very strong. But it's floss and feathers.
To me, when I look at Wild Indian, I expect to see feathers and beads.
Yeah.
But when I look at fancy mass,
I can't
put together what they're depicting. You have to depict something. Well, again, you could just say nakedness. That seems to be what it is. But you just have enough string and enough feathers, and what else they put on?
I have no idea. Glitter.
And but it's not as interesting as the Wild Indians, because the Wild Indians, they have a litany, they have structure in terms of how they go in and out, and when you throw the money in the ring,
and
they pretend as if they freed it, so they all go back, and then the head one comes and he says something, and he talk about Eloina. There's Eloina, who is the queen, the queen of all of them.
Right.
And then they mate, they go down, not to Luton. They guess that is, and they finally pick up the coin. But they sanctify it. They make sure it's thing.
Oh, so that, right. So whatever
they have a
he
little
said.
ceremony and all that. Even the jab that I knew,
Right.
they had different things to say. They had, for instance, they used to have a big book. You always see them with this big book. You wonder what? They put the big book in a wheelbarrow and they pull in it. And when they open the book, they're looking for your name.
Hey.
And if your name is not there, oh, horrors. You know what I mean? But if you say, I know this lady, she's a nice lady, she will give me a copper to pay me a passage to go back to, they're always going back to hell. They
Wait,
never.
but hold on. Also, that was something had to be said.
Oh,
to
the jab had things to say.
Ah.
They had things to say. And the teacher behind them, because they always had followers, would say jab.
But you see, so and again, if it is that we talk in culture and heritage, then definitely that is where, because people are trying to, quote unquote, keep the culture, but obviously a lot of the origin is missing. So maybe that is really where, of course, people like you come in. Because at least if somebody
that is where a BAM called the real jab.
Come in,
It's
need to
called
come in.
the real jab. They come in because he has this.
Also, they actually, there's a band that
called
says,
the real jab,
right.
Which they have their horns, they have the tails, they have the chains, they have the pail of
A pail?
of what you call it?
Pea?
No. Mixture to recruit more dab.
Oh, the pail of black stuff?
Yes.
Ah. Oh, that is what is in the pail?
I suspect so.
Okay.
So they could make more jobs as they go along.
Right. Also, that's where dirtying other people, quote unquote, come about.
Well, they're not supposed to, and they know that.
No, but still,
But
the idea is to get more.
To recruit more.
Right.
But the horns, the chains,
That's the real thing.
the tail, the
What's up
the
with
extension
but the
of
red
the fingers
thing and the
red thing around the mouth.
what is that? Was supposed to be like a vampire thingy?
I
It's thrown
suppose
in
it
there,
might
maybe
be a vampire thing.
theme. Yeah. Okay.
You know? And but they said things. They had litany. They had
Right.
they had things that they would say.
Right.
For instance, in the beginning, I used to hear that weha. You ever hear that? Weha. Now, what that means, I don't know. But when you hear weha and they blow the shell, and by the way, I don't see the shells nowadays. I don't hear the shells.
Can some people even blow the shell properly? Because again, that's what I'm saying. People might have some of the aspects of the thing, but as you said, the real job, maybe whoever that is, you have to bring back the things that were.
Shell blowing is another piece of our communication that is missing now. Because when you're selling fish,
yes,
if it's big fish, it's a big shell. If it's little fish, it's a small shell.
Really?
Yes.
So what, they give a different sound?
Yes.
So it's not just blow a shell for fish?
No, that's just blow a shell for fish. You blow a heavy.
And that is a Grenadian, that one is a Grenadian thing?
Well, I assume
maybe.
so.
Yeah, okay.
Just as we feel a jab is a Grenadian thing.
Well, no,
because in Trinidad, they call it jab molasses. In Trinidad, their thing is to dab yourself in molasses.
Oh, really?
Yes, they call it jab molasses. And the Trinidad thing, they wear a little skirt, and it's a pretty skirt. You know, but not here.
Yeah, we are black. When I say in Grenada, it's just pure black.
It's all connected to diable, which is devil. So sometimes you call it devil mass. Or you use the word
yes, you have
diab,
that.
Yeah. Which is devil, and it ends up to be jab.
Because of how we speak.
Because of how we speak. And if you notice, most of the language of Carnival is French.
Yeah, a lot of it.
You know?
Well, if it is that it's done exactly the way we had it before, things at the Juve and whatnot.
They open the beginning, you know, and your Mardi Gras and your Dimanche Gras and your whatever.
Yeah, all of these are
Yes. And you can compare it to New Orleans and Port of Spain. But Grenadians should feel proud that its carnival is unique. Because I think we have so many traditional masquerades.
So we still have some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the what they call shortney, which is the English form of describing the masquerade by what they're wearing.
Right.
But originally, I think they were called Peru.
Right.
And Peru means country king. Because you wore crowns and those tissue paper fluttering
I
in the
remember
breeze.
that.
And
I remember my brother, and so they used to do that when they used to be in that
Yes.
long, well, of course, as a child.
So, and they made up songs. Their creativity was fantastic. Because the Peru usually have a song.
And then in Karakou, you have the Shakespeare Mass, where, well, I don't know if they still have it, but you definitely have to be well versed in Shakespeare.
You have to be able to
do
repeat
this.
your verses. And here we used to have our history mass.
Yes, I remember you mentioned that some time ago.
I heard about William the Conqueror was from a history mass.
Wow.
And he was talking about the Battle of Hastings, 1066. And I discovered that all of that was true. William the Conqueror.
But it had to be, again, you have to really know.
You have to know it.
You have to know it.
You have to
You
know
have to
it.
know it.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe that is part of the thing too, because let's be real, a lot of the persons who are involved in the masquerade and the, carnival and whatnot, a lot of people don't know all of what we're talking about there. You're not aware of it. It is sad, but it is, that is the reality. They don't know, so then how do you give what you don't have?
That's right.
How do you give what you don't have?
Well, as I say, the generation, because as there was a generation that nakedness was not...
Yeah, definitely, you didn't uphold that.
Cover up.
Oh yeah.
Because look at the shortney. They cover up so much. Each one
That
of
they
those things
completely
a yard of cloth,
Wow.
Each piece has to be a yard. The sleeves and the and the feet and the so it's a cover up thing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the less you cover up, the better.
Yeah.
But it's not the better because there's nothing to see.
We have that. Okay. I'm hoping that the next time we meet, because we spoke a little bit about games and so forth, but I'm hoping that the next time we meet, if we go back to games and Martin and whatnot, that you will come prepared to do.
To demonstrate? No,
Yes.
I can't.
You can.
I reach my knees.
We might have to get a few people to come
My
and
knees won't allow it. But before we go,
yes, we have to talk
I want to talk about
for September. Quickly.
September. September is a month that we pay attention and we heighten awareness of a disease called Alzheimer's, and its partner, dementia.
Yeah.
And these two things are very. It's a sort of disease that I would say comes on with age.
Yeah.
It's a old people's disease. Although some younger people have that thing. Amnesia. All those, where you're forgetting and you can't remember and all that. All that is part of the spectrum and so this month we are going to spend time.
Okay, are you on a committee also?
No,
okay.
I'm a member of the Alzheimer's Association.
Ah, right.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
So there would be talks on the radio.
Definitely.
And
well, without a doubt, we are going to accommodate. We are going to accommodate the association here. On the program, so we will talk a little more about that. But definitely, because it can happen, and it's happening more and more. I find, and it can happen to anybody, whether it be hereditary, or
Right.
whether it be that you say, oh, it my genes, but no, it's
And
happening.
also there's a misunderstanding when a lot of people say, oh, she's suffering from dotish, she dotish, or she's senile, and they just put, but some...
And just pack you away. Yeah, it is a sad thing. I remember when we had the late Miss Nurse Ann Hopkins. You remember
Yes.
We actually did about 3 programs, because we did it like a series now. We did a few programs before she passed away on Alzheimer's.
Well, you should.
So I will have to. I definitely. I will,
September.
because yeah. So it's a good thing that you are bringing that up, because I was not aware. I didn't know that that we were observing it in September. And that is a good thing, because there needs to be awareness. Even one of the things too, you see we have a big challenge with we have a lot of elderly folk that is already, sadly, and I remember the persons from the desk of the elderly would have shared that here, that there is already a challenge as it relates to care that the elderly receive, even from their family members. Once they get older, people sadly throw them away. Is it true? Because most elderly, a lot of elderly, not like you, that is, so full of vitality and everything, and that is just, that is the reality. There are some people who need so much support, and that's one of the things that they were saying. It's so even with Alzheimer's and dementia, you have an even greater challenge, because people too, I believe, don't know how to deal with individuals who are showing the symptoms.
Correct.
So we are definitely going to deal with this
program. You lock them away in a home. Hoping that they'll be well taken care of. And you don't go to see them.
Because you can't handle it.
Whereas...
So it's both sides we have to talk. We have to talk to us, as in how to deal with persons who are, who have this challenge. And to really be able to appreciate, not just that they have it, but how do we treat with them? Because we all getting older.
Yes,
we all getting older, and we don't know. We are. We're growing up, and whether we like it or not, there are some challenges that come with age, and we cannot pretend that it's not happening. As well, we are prepared for it. So definitely, we are going to talk about this in more detail
during the month.
Because it is definitely needed. We are going to set aside this month as well with the association to be able to do that. So we will talk about this in more detail. Thank you very much for making us aware of that. And as a program, we are going to, as I said, focus on that for this coming month. Well, parting words before we go.
Parting words is that your past is a very interesting part of you, and the past, what went along when you were growing up, very interesting. And if we don't know our history, we can't say anything about where we're going, because it helps to direct your path. History is a memory of the past. A lot of children say they don't like history, too many dates. History is not just dates.
No.
In fact, dates are incidental. Just you want to put it in a chronological way so that you could say, well, it happened in the 17th century or the 18th century. But technically speaking, what happened in the past informs the present, and more than would inform the future.
Definitely. And I would want to end by saying the CCG, we are having our final, and you have been there for 2 of our sessions, we are having our final panel discussion, at least for this year, panel discussion. We are looking at having it in the early in October, God's willing, because we have our AGM in September. And one of the things that we have purpose to look at is, now that we are coming toward the end of the celebration mode of the Grenada 50, how do we chart the course? And even as church, what do we have to do? What should we be doing? So even the different aspects that we looked at, the cultural aspect, the educational aspect, and so forth, that we looked at in the panel discussions that have gone before, we say now, okay, great. So how do we take all of that and put it into a context that says, this is where we're going for the next 50. We've gone a long way for the 50 that has gone. Beautiful, praise the Lord. How do we chart a course for going for the next 50? So I can tell us from now that we are going to be having our last panel discussion. Who knows? We taking it, as I said, from a church angle, but not just where we come in and talk church or preach, not at all. We're taking it from an angle that says how, as spiritual people, we are going to go forward into it, right? Nice chat, Gloria. Thank you very much for being here.
Well, one of the things that you might have to take into consideration is the fact that after August carnivals, you have no August Ash Wednesdays.
I know, right?
Because the purpose of Ash Wednesday was to
bring that in
and to prepare yourself for the resurrection, which is...
So we know for sure that has totally, well, it went off course completely when it came to that.
The commercial carnival, but you see the significance of the religious carnival in
That's
February, March, was that you prepare yourself for the resurrection.
That's lost.
Through
for
Lent.
Sure. That's lost for
we
sure.
have no Lent.
Not after this.
Not after August carnival.
All right. Well, as we see the things shifting, our culture. So, thank you for staying with us. We are going to see you, I am going to see you rather, next week, Friday, God's willing. Do have yourself a really great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. All right? Stay safe. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Strength like no other. Strength